Spiral, 2 Jews, 2 mics, 2 hours, starting now.
I don't see you.
See you, can't see you.
Hi.
That's scary. When for a second you think, what if I don't, it was me, my Broadway guy, right? What if that's not going to work, but something like this. I wanted to cry. I had no Wi-Fi. You could do better than that, but I'm giving you all you need to get started.
But why would I?
Because I think that you would both, well, it's the same reason why we've talked about the what is it called, a brainworm or brain?
If you're talking about RFK, it's a brainworm.
No, but what are we talking about?
I don't know.
Earworm.
Ah.
Is that what a song you can't get?
Yes.
So I have two versions of that. I always have bad songs in my head because you have to have something distracting.
Because the ones you wrote.
If I really just lost my energy.
Wow. Earworms. Come on. Get back on the horse.
Okay.
Get back on the worm.
It's not just bad songs. It's songs that are good that I'm trying to work on to maybe sing, but they very quickly become horrible. I feel like this is a bitch from the 70s. You can't repeat a song without it sounding hacky. Okay, I don't have the energy nor the material to go into it.
Yeah, I don't really know where you're headed. You have songs in your head, is I guess the upshot here.
No,
You've got the music in you. You've got the music in you. You've got the music in you.
I'll say it this way: there's a large amount of time when I'm doing that annoying thing out loud that I don't care whether it's a good song or it's Tie a Yellow Ribbon. I get like fascinated by how bad Tie a Yellow, and I'm not like doing a Bill Murray with it, but I can get into Tie a Yellow, and I can't believe I see 100 yellow, and it's not even that. That's too slow. That's like too performative.
Well, it's horrible, corny song.
Right, but I also have excellent Elvis Costello songs that I eventually get tired of.
Yeah,
but I think if I start out with a good song, maybe it'll last longer.
Maybe just play some music.
I also want to say
it'll just take that one out of your head.
No, because I don't want to. That's the thing. That's the thing that
What
I
is
would
the
expect.
thing? What is the thing, Andy?
Once, my friend, I can't use names here, had a boyfriend who was kind of very strange, and we were all very high, maybe ecstasy or something, and I was over, and her boyfriend all of a sudden said he had some idea he was talking about. He wasn't on ecstasy, and he had some idea he was talking about, and he said, and we started to and we asked one question about it. It was something like a thing that you will put on the freeway when an accident happens. Something comes down. It's very similar to Gallagher's thing. We have all these helicopters that are not being used. They're not being used. And my idea. So this is what this guy had a similar idea. His whole thing was when there's an accident, you can build something that would prevent people from slowing down because they wouldn't be able to see it. You're starting to get the idea of what it was, right?
Like a curtain so that they would,
a
looky-loo curtain is what you're saying?
So I say, so you're talking about a curtain? And he says, that's exactly the kind of question I would expect from you simpletons.
Ah, all right. I'm glad to be in the simpleton club.
That does sound like younger things that happened more when I was on a commune, but they don't happen so much anymore. I don't have anecdotes like that anymore.
Yeah. Well, you're not around people anymore.
I know, but even I used to be, my head was chock full of, hey, Josh, remember the time we all sat down? Bum, 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 bum. Wah, 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 wah. No, that can get me going for 5 minutes, 10 minutes in my head. It doesn't have to be audible, but there's always within me a Liza Minnelli like or Judy Garland or somebody. Liza Minnelli at the grocery store. It's not you haven't paid to see Liza Minnelli.
No, we know there's a latent show person always right below the surface.
Yes, and so here is.
You open the fridge, the light comes on, you do a number, as they say.
Yeah, that sounded vaguely familiar. Once Phil Rosenthal said, "Oh, she would attend the opening of an envelope," and I howled and howled and howled.
Right, because you're obsequious.
I thought he came up with it. He said, "No, it did not come up with that." And then all of a sudden, I stopped laughing. But the point is, what am I trying to do? This was years ago when I had no reason.
The most dangerous place in the world to be is between Andy and confusion.
You delight mostly by the part of the show where I'm adult.
Yeah, well,
not adult.
No, adult.
I said it already. Why are you repeating it? Adult, like that, right?
Yes.
Adult. This is why we'd never be Bob and Ray. First of all, we probably don't have the energy to write sketches. I was in a duo, and believe me, it's tiring and it's not that much fun. But. Okay. Get me back on track here.
Was there a track?
Yes, there really was. There a track. Well, first of all, I want to almost apologize, and you should tell you, and you can just think, people want to know what's it like to be an OCD's nightmare. It's not that much of a nightmare, but it's like I could have. Here's the old Andy. Oh, I'm 2 minutes late. What should I do? Actually, that's not the old Eddie.
Another drop of tincture.
No, because the UPS guy isn't coming yet. So I have been pretty good about starting on time, probably maybe 98% of the time, right? Wouldn't you say?
Let me check.
90.
Let me check my Excel spreadsheet.
Boy, that took you way too long to come up with that. It was like a man in the morning before he's had his coffee. So I was going to say, I don't think I can make it before 9:02, is what I really thought in my mind. It ended up being 9:04, but it would have been 9:10 if I had been the old Andy, which would have texted you, "Hey, guys, I think I can start at 9." And I remembered, no, the deal is 5 minutes.
See, I don't think of it as old Andy, new Andy. I see it as an Andy continuum.
What is this thing where your barbs are based on this it's like a back and forth motion and then forward. You're angling, or you're just you're honing in. You're like a comedy predator.
Despite the fact that we're just audio, I'm still trying to create good TV.
That's true. Because we are going to do, a lot of people, we are here to announce that we have always taped ourselves visually, and we just signed a deal with YouTube. And you can see, from here on out, you'll see it every day. But if you want to be a Spiral Plus listener, we will supply you with them. So, but here's the thing. So 9:04, I think, it's a big improvement as a person. But here's the other thing. People don't care that I'm improving as a person. Not only do you not care, I'm being honest now, not only do you not care, it's supposed to be, I'm supposed to feel better about it. Yeah, but I'm like...
Yeah, but you're assuming that us other people, like that I'm measuring how your quality as a person by the closeness to 9 o'clock that you call me.
It's based on an OCD projection. When you said originally, when you first said 5 minutes, I don't know what time that I didn't show up at your house or in the door at exactly 5 minutes after. Yeah. That was the kind of person I was. It's 5 minutes after. It's 5 minutes after.
No, I understand. I was trying to be kind by saying I don't even worry in the first 5 minutes, and you fucking took that as license to stab me in the back.
You know, there's nobody who could listen to the show that could not conclude from your editing that you are nothing but overly kind to me. And I once again, I accept, I thank you. I have gratitude for your giving me so much rope. Okay. So the point is, what you're saying is absolutely true. Other people don't care. They care more about this. You care more about this because it could be like, is this dementia? Is it going to stop the show?
Well, if you're listening to the show, it always starts on time. So it doesn't really matter.
I know, but that's the illusion of television or radio or what are we on? That's the illusion of audio. That's the illusion of show. Right there.
Oh, God.
Okay, so I'm
just like one less drop of tincture. Come on, just one less.
It's not. I wish. I'm just overly tired. I'm first of all, this is where Josh.
It wasn't from celebrating your team's wins.
You know, I gave up on the Jets. This is a typical Jets. I gave up on them. My nephew Dylan, he texted me, the Jets suck, and so I text back to him, I'm not even watching. I'm watching the Mets work for. He's like, are they still in there? Yes. If they win
until the end of the day.
Who's crashing worse, the Mets or the Tigers? That's the worst crash that has ever been because the Mets were not in first place, but the Tigers were 15 games in first place or something. What's going on? This sounds like how I would act if I was on a contender and then self-sabotage.
This is baseball in a demoralized nation.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
No one wants to go to the White House.
No. Remember we used to talk about early on in the first Trump administration, we'd say, you know, we have interesting, invigorating talks we're all skeptical, but I really believed he was going to get impeached, or I really believe when they find out how he just talked to his, and I really thought when the 7-Eleven tape came out, that's not right. The Entertainment Tonight tape, when that
Access Hollywood.
Yeah. And nothing could bring him down or disrupt him, including Attorney General. Who is that guy? He's going to get him. The original guy who did the investigation into the Russian hoax, right? So now, when this started, I said, I'm either not going to watch anything, or I'm going to hide under the bed, but I'm not talking about it because I can't stand it. I can't, a couple songs that say, I can't stand myself. And now I feel there's a glimmer of hope.
Do you?
We have a glimmer of hope. Yes.
Because of the free speech issue?
Yeah. Yes.
Ever since Kimmelnacht?
Yes. And how sad, folks, that it would take stand-up comedians, they're doing to the stand. They came for the stand-up comedians now. I can't accept it. Who would have ever thought this would be? It wouldn't be. They're snatching every other person up off the street,
right,
and sticking him in a detention center. No, it has to be. They're not taking Al Jones. I'm trying to think of who an old celebrity would be. They're not taking Jack Parr away from me. I don't know. Why do I have to go back?
I don't know.
But I have current information.
There's an actual current example.
Yeah.
I mean, the nice thing about free speech is people will speak up for it without fear of being unfollowed. Because it's a right for everybody. It's when you start asking for rights for specific people that people get turned off. But when you have free speech, it's pretty carte blanche.
But unfortunately, the people who know, this is just a fact. All of us, I don't want to go to this level. All of us, it's not just all of us with a thinking brain. That's not what I'm thinking. That was what I used to think. How could this?
Yes, you're better now. Okay, keep going.
Okay, better now. But people who don't seem to care about anything, they may care about. Oh, do you like this cookie you're eating? Take it away from you. If they get right into your life, I don't know the cookie music analogy, but then they can kind of see like, oh my God, this is bad. That's what I'm hoping.
I hope so.
But then you're saying,
every comic thinks they're a free speech warrior already,
Oh yeah, like, I love how
even the dipshits who are going, you can't say retard anymore, are free speech warriors in their way.
Oh my God. Which is, oh man, don't get me started on that one. But now Bill Maher's trying to climb back. It's like the guy who can buy this thing. Now he's like, stay away from my friend Jimmy Kimmel, Trump. Back
and
off.
Then he has fucking Tom Homan on his show. So
that's what I heard. I can't watch his show. I didn't watch his show, but someone said I reposted. Someone said he had this guy on for like 5 minutes unopposed. And that's unacceptable. That guy's like a monster. That's like worse than booking Phil and a comedian who's a right-wing comedian.
And he's a monster with $50,000 in a shopping bag, apparently. So.
Is that Jay Leno?
No, that's Tom Homan. Catch up. We'll talk Friday.
I thought you were repeating the Jay Leno. I left the money under that bar. $50,000 now? Because, don't think about it, but yeah, I used to have to deposit the money for the club. He had to deposit the money for the club, and he took it back to Boston with him. Instead of your usual job of depositing the money. I like this better. This would be how it would be good. Can you do that as a bridge partner? Just signal me with your eyes
roll my eyes back into my head
instead of coming out with the sound. Because at least you give me a chance. At least. Yeah, no. So I have a glimmer of hope, but I'm willing to let it go. I'm not willing to let it go because I'm into this new thing. Here's how I know that I'm not affected.
Here's my new thing: glimmers of hope.
The operating philosophy is, but with nicer voice in my head. Hey, idiot! So you were wrong that it was going to get better. Okay, and now you got to put that aside. All right. Yeah. At some point, you got to put that aside. And that's what I'm working on. And some craft projects.
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm really losing it. I'm really losing it early. And you made me feel like I took tincture this morning.
This is like 30% Andy is what we got.
You blamed it on tincture.
It feels like tincture. You got the non-eye contact thing going, the looking around.
More, you know what? That makes me even more depressed. There's so much marijuana in my system that even though I haven't smoked since Shabbat down on when the sun went Shabbat down on Friday. You think I ingest so much pot that I'm just buzzing from and then why would a normal person feel defensive about that? A normal person would say, this guy doesn't know what the fuck I'm doing. But I say he maybe he does, maybe he knows what I'm doing at a deeper level. Something like that.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
I do.
I can tell that you don't hear anything with the the construction, right?
Hasn't been a problem, no.
Because that's it.
That's it.
I'm getting better at that too. That's it.
Clean out.
What's that?
Clean outs, yeah. Clean ins. Those have really helped me a lot.
Also, I wanted to run this by you. It's a joke, but I'm going to pretend like it's conversational.
Okay.
I want to have a comedy roast battle with the shame shadows in my head. You know what I mean? These jokes are for me and you, and maybe one other person who understands shame shadows. So it would be a very funny. You couldn't just be a royal. You couldn't be I deserve a better life. This is ridiculous. It has to be funny. It has to be, oh my God, who am I? I expected to be treated like this. I end up like Napoleon at the thing.
All right.
And that would be for every voice.
Well, you'll have to come up with a funny introduction for each voice first, so that people know who you're talking to.
Don't you think I have to explain shame shadows first?
I think shame shadows kind of
is going around
is
now.
Self-explanatory.
Yeah.
If you give each one a name, then people will catch right up. You don't have to go into the whole theory of shame shadows. But
so you say
if shame shadow number one is the royal, say
right.
Shame.
Yeah, and they have to be biting. Now they have to be biting roast style things, and in different voices. Not different voices.
This is good because this is like your wheelhouse, the long, elaborate, character laden bit. This is really where you live on stage.
I feel like you're putting a negative spin on it.
No,
I know you love it. I know you love it. But
I'm yes-anding till the cows come home.
It does make me feel weird that sometimes I feel at the end of the day that I am, in fact, Demetri Martin. And
Really?
I'm jealous of him, Maybe I think I come up with nonsense jokes. I thought I invented, I'm calling my new comedy album. I thought, I don't think I invented that, but I thought I invented, and then he came along, and then he came along, and then he's not, he might be around right now.
Right.
But you see the problem with me trying to construct a state of the industry speech right now with my Dane Cook references.
It is. That became the problem for both of us, really.
Everybody is backing now. Jimmy, who's the one who, so Bill Maher, he's back on the thing.
Uh-huh.
And he's a compatriot. And then Dane Cook is showing a picture with him. I love Jimmy Kimmel.
Uh-huh.
I love Jimmy. I mean, I happen to be a fan of Jimmy Kimmel.
Right. Why are you against people supporting Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, is my question.
No. I'm saying people were idiots, is what I'm saying. I'm saying idiots, like, not idiots, but like Bill Maher. Yeah, I don't want Bill Maher getting, what is it when you get cachet or something by hopping on an issue? He's like, I'm going to, yeah. And
I told you that last week this is what he was going to do because it logically follows. He was kicked off ABC Late Night for something he said.
There's logic.
So.
There's logic to it, but you can't when you're talking to someone who's about a grifter, aggrandizing evil force. You know that he's going to take the superficial. There's no sympathy that I have for him being, whatever I felt and when it happened, I don't like any time someone's taken off the air for their speech, right? But I'm over his particular thing. You know what I mean?
I get it. Sure.
It's like if someone from the civil rights movement wants to say, I was in the fucking civil rights movement, I can relate. Also, I would know that person wasn't pro-Trump.
Yeah.
The civil rights person. But here's the thing I think that you're making a point that you're not saying is nobody cares about Bill Maher. That's what I really think. I'm hoping.
I think eventually. I feel like anybody. Yeah, I think people have moved on from Bill Maher a while back.
But the other thing is, I can tell when I'm edging. Well, first of all, I decided that tweeting and posting and anything other than you and me at a restaurant or in a phone call bantering is always not going to look as good about 5 minutes later. It's always going to, and I noticed that when I particularly think I'm on a roll, it reads like an insult to language and the idea of banter. But I refuse to engage with it. That's one of my shame shadow guys. That's the critic.
Yeah.
That's the critic. You suck now. So you think if I did it again, it would be good? No, it's indication that you're worse than you were a year ago. That type of thing. That kind of a situation.
Yeah, I pretty much see social media as like, it's like a blackjack table. It's like you're gonna lose eventually. It's like,
I think that's right.
You can get on a run, but the odds are stacked against you, and no one walks away happy, really.
Well, that's true. I think it's an incredibly good analogy, and I think the idea of growing as a person is that you no longer care about that people disagree with you. You no longer care that you have to, when someone disagrees with you, you no longer have to vociferously argue with them to the point where it sounds to others that maybe I'm not that steady on my own beliefs, or maybe my dad yelled at me, or maybe something happened as a child that's separate from, that makes me so glad I didn't get further as like comedy, political punditry, or whatever it would have been.
Yeah.
Or, not that it's a big field, but there's some, like I love Pete, Dominic. He's not a pundit, but he's like a comedian. And it's like, oh my God, he's articulate. I cannot be that articulate because I'm emotionally involved. I'm emotionally involved. I'm raging.
Well, the other thing is that most people who are out there politically punditing are doing it to bait people into disagreeing with them.
Right.
And
would you say the Stephen A. Jackson?
And you do not
syndrome?
like it when people disagree with you. It creates a sort of violent reaction in you. So right off the bat, it's a losing game for you. You know.
You know, it's interesting because in my head, I'm like, he doesn't know the growth I've made. Because this is one of my shame shadows. I'm just like, you're better now. You're still horrible, but you're better now. But
this is why I said it creates a violent reaction in you. That was not speaking to your reaction to that reaction.
Yes,
I think you have moderated your reaction to that happening very well. But nonetheless, people disagreeing with you creates a violent reaction inside.
Right, and I do get into these territories. It's not the territories where I know that I can kill myself with, and many people can. I'm just further down the continuum of slipping into self-hatred in the guise of I'm just being an objective observer of how unfunny you were, Andy, with those last 7. You know, because I don't think that's a real place to get into or to get trapped into. So when I see myself slipping, I have to just pick myself up and go, okay, I remember this very well. And stop it, everyone. I hate turning off. You know why I don't like turning off my phone? Because I never turn it back on.
Yes.
Then all of a sudden you're trying to get me for a meeting. Or a conference call.
Or an intervention.
Boom. So where was I with that? Did I finish? Was that the end of a point?
Oh, I hope so.
Well, here's what I hope too, Josh. I hope so too, because I really hope for our sake. Well, I don't see how this affects you negatively. But I hope for my sake that this is not a worsening condition. What condition, you say? Remembering the last sentence. When asked. When's asked. If you said to me now, what did you just say? When asked. But I'm definitely afraid that, but as soon as you ask it, and I think you're from social services, or I think you're from Medicare, or I think you're trying to put me away, makes me worried. That makes me worried.
Hi, sir. I'm the man from Daughter Mountain Angel.
It's Sister Mountain. It's Sister Mountain, and I cannot.
Heaven, I think.
Heaven, Sister Heaven Angel. Yeah,
no,
I'm in Sister. No,
you have dementia.
Sister Heaven Mountain. Sister Heaven Mountain. I'm in Sister Heaven Mountain. You know, I love sister. My sister is heaven, and I'm spending time at. But you know, I'm not. This is not a. Who's the guy who wrote the thing? The basketball player who's trying to write the logic, how you remember things. It's not Dave DeBuscher, maybe.
I think it might be.
Yeah. I am not. That's not the way. I'm not coming up with a system. Obviously,
right.
I think I'm a genius, but I so far haven't found any way that when the anxiety starts, that the truth kicks in. So if I'm nervous now, imagine during an intervention.
That's when you go to your memory palace.
Well, that was another suggestion somebody had for how you organize. Not somebody had. It's a known thing. If let's say I'm doing a 45-minute set, I could construct it like a home. The joke about here is the walk up to the house,
right?
And it just doesn't work for me.
I always did mentally picture it as like your act is a hallway with rooms full of material, and like
I like that.
And like if you don't open a particular door, there's like a whole room full of material that you fucking miss because you didn't. Because the on-ramp wasn't there, you know. Well,
so you put a lot of pressure on yourself remembering the various rooms.
Well, it wasn't like a system I set up. It was an analogy that formed naturally in my head as to what it kind of feels like. Speaking of stand-up sets where I forgot to do a bunch of stuff, I did a show the other night in Glendale.
Did you tell me about this is coming up?
Yeah, probably.
What was it? Is it a top 66?
Hard to say if it's a top 65 room, but
I thought I know it's the Elks.
You did this. This is Debbie Bradshaw's.
Yes. What's the name of the room?
At the Glendale Room, it was called.
Yes, it's a very small, intimate space.
Yes.
And how did it go?
And still not full.
And why are you? Oh, I was like, you're not getting ready. This isn't you getting ready for a gig. This is you being invited to something and wanting to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, and I told Debbie this, is that when she asked me, I thought she was asking me to be on a podcast. And then then the next communication when I realized I had said yes to a show. So I was, but I was, it was, it's doing the small room thing like that, the small, sparsely populated, weird energy little room thing is like a different ball game than what I'm used to the last several sets I did. I just did a guest set at Acme a couple of weeks ago, and
it's crazy hit and miss is what it is.
Well, it's and you realize how much that
crazy hit and miss.
Well, it's just like you just realize that laughter is much more about buying you time to think about what your next joke is. Like it's not like, to me it's like at this, it's like what's fun to me, and I like it was a positive experience, the whole thing. It was like,
right.
I didn't build up any dread about it. I went and I did it. It was nice people. Everything was fine. It was and Debbie and her husband listened to the show, so thank you for having me. So I'm not trying to bash on your show, Debbie, because it was a delightful evening.
I love that show.
But
I don't know why you sound so suspicious.
But it's a difference. It's like it's hard to find a mission in that kind of show.
Absolutely,
you know what I mean? Because it's like I had a head full of shit that I had kind of written that day, and that kind of went out the window pretty quick.
Right.
But my instincts as a performer would be just to like be very conversational and start talking to people. And try to make a moment out of it that way. But that's not really what I'm there to, it's not like I'm the headliner, it's like I'm still just doing a set at the end of the show. So the mission becomes weird for me. And I ended up just going into the cancer chunk because I just needed something where I knew where the next joke was. And, and I could.
You have to do that if you actually believe. If you go, no, I am going to improv even without a funny idea from just forming words, it does not work. You have to do a bit that you recognize. I go through the same thing you're going through, especially since the pandemic or whatever. I don't even remember. And so I had to stop doing that thing where like, oh, I'm not going to do a joke as if people have all my jokes down in their brain.
Right. But again, it's like mission. It's like, what am I going to get out of this set? What are they going to get out of this set? Kind of is a hard balance to figure out sometimes. And fortunately it's a zero stakes thing for me at this point. It's like, I don't leave a show with that, like that feeling empty or bad or anything. It was just like, it's all about the act of just doing it,
Yeah. It's so funny because as you're saying, I'm thinking like the tendency of us as human beings to judge is all out of whack, because the whole idea, like the way you're relating to this thing. Let's just say I could relate to a thing. I could go someplace and have fun, or I could go someplace and not have fun. But it's all this stuff that's based on judgment. What do they think? If I don't feel good, it's almost always based on how could I not feel good after a set like that? It's not because I just did 15 minutes that bombed, even though maybe it feels that way. It's because it makes me wonder, well, are you ever doing this comedy again?
This is a measure of my career as opposed to a measure of an evening.
Right. So I think my problem is not a problem. But being so pin needle drop sensitive to the room,
right,
ultimately has been my downfall. Not my downfall. It's where the self-sabotage can go to. But sometimes if you just if I'm thinking I can't have a 10-minute period where people aren't hilariously laughing, or even if it's not one person in this room knows what I'm talking about and I'm delivering it poorly, it's the after show conclusion that can hurt. If you take any memory from I did this, maybe just I'm talking about people who came up in families not like yours, but like mine, where you came by age 9, you just felt like I'm defective, I hate myself, I'm not talented, all that kind of stuff, and you try to get that from the crowd. Well, I would never get that from the crowd to the point where I could, I'm going to go for that, because I don't think I would be able to do it to an effective degree.
Yeah.
But the idea of judging it, like, how was it the gig? I mean, sometimes you can say, like these gigs where in Hollywood, where I was doing, where you're parking in a thing and it's a complex, and you can say, this didn't seem like that much fun. But then you can say, well, then do rooms that aren't fun. I'm just trying to be. I'm not saying I'm a life coach, but I'm just saying that I'm noticing how much of my own life it's these harsh conclusions, and they're all based on. I would argue that neither one of us is in control of any objective truth about the sets we're having, even when we know, like, they didn't. But
yeah, it doesn't matter to me, really.
That's right. I know it doesn't matter to you, but to me it does.
Yeah, no, I always, I frequently disappoint myself on stage, and I certainly did. I certainly did the other night. But it's more like, it's like a situation like that is kind of, it's both no win and no lose at the same time, because it's like everybody in the room has now experienced the show, and they know that, nothing's going to get a huge laugh, and nothing, and
yes,
everyone is sort of self-conscious because it's a small crowd, and you just don't have the terminal mass of people to get big laughs happening,
Right.
But the failure to me, I guess, is that I feel like, it's almost 40 years now I've been doing this shit. There's a part of me that feels like you should be masterful in pretty much any situation at this point without being able to be thrown off your game,
I think that's a good thing to work towards for myself too. Why do I have to go up and feel miserable because I'm doing a joke from 2015? Who the fuck cares? That's all self-generated.
Yeah, no, and it's not even and yeah, I don't care about where the material choices themselves, but it's still just like, really, after this long, you're getting thrown by something not getting a laugh, and you get that little adrenaline thing still from something dying, It's like
yeah. In the recovery community, I'm not in the recovery community.
Why do you talk like you're in the
I don't know,
recovery
but you would say,
community?
but in the Shame Shadow universe, what's happening is it always hits the original wound. It doesn't always have to hit the original wound, but something gets hit from some original wound that has nothing to do with the audience that night.
I don't think it's that deep. I think it's more you're in front of people, and that's what your nervous system is tuned into, I'm
just talking about where my anxiety. To me, why would I be anxious, regardless of whether I should or shouldn't do the gigs? Why should I be anxiety ridden before the show?
Yeah.
I think there comes a time period where I can be less, I just having wherever. But this is more like a Zen Buddhism thing. I want to be able to have happiness and peace now, not even happiness, peace. Now, not when Trump's out of office, not when this is happening. Can I bring that into my life now? We know I haven't been able to do it yet, but it's like being stoical. Stoic. Yeah, something like that. Hey, don't you can wait. You know how you're saying I'm doing a good job of processing my anger and not going. You're going right. It's no. Stoic.
I didn't say no even once. I just said stoic.
Face of my father, face of every teacher I've hated, looming in front of me.
All right, let's just save some time. You're stupid, okay? Bring it into the now.
I am writing a book about my fascination with people who I admire, and then if they go they're artists, and they go right wing. So I love Van Morrison. Mm-hmm. Now the pandemic, he went nuts. And it's not just Van Morrison. I don't love Morrissey, but I think I do like more. I think I did like the Smiths. I like the songs. I don't know much about them, but I certainly don't like the transition into, something is right about this, the immigrant thing. It's all about the immigrant thing, or in Van's case, not being allowed to perform.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of his million shtick half-hearted shows. Well, because he's and anybody see him knows you can see him and he's great. You can see him and he's terrible, and it all could be within a 10-minute period.
Yes. Or you could just not see him because he left the stage to drink.
Well, okay, so let me. I never thought of that. But how about these other? I'm not just talking about him. We got the Smashing Pumpkins guy.
He's like pretty He's pretty irritating. I don't know that he's right wing, but he's pretty fucking pretentious and irritating.
I think that he used to be pretentious and irritating. He's turned right wing.
Has he?
He's turned right wing. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But even if it's just Morrissey and we already talked about this. There's many examples of it. I'm not doing a book about it, really. I guess that's the part of it. I lied about doing a book.
So it was based on a foundation of shit.
Yes, because I've been doing comedy for so long that I think I have to set up everything with an incorrect premise or something.
Did you watch any of Farm Aid the other night?
No, I did not watch that. I don't know why I missed. I would not have. Okay,
it was on CNN. That's why you missed it.
Oh, okay. I hate to be defensive, but I didn't think about watching it, even though I'm a fan of Farm Aid.
My wife is a Farm Aid veteran.
That's cool.
I didn't see all of it, but it was mostly like a study in elderly rock stars.
Neil Young,
towards
right?
the end. Neil Young, who is like fucking rocks so fucking hard at 80 in a way.
He's unbelievable. How old is he?
He's like turns 80 this year.
Wow.
But he as a geriatric rocker does it with a sincerity that fucking no one else does. Like no one else does. It feels not at all like a guy playing his hits. It feels, he's taking big guitar solos. He looks like shit. It's fantastic.
That's true. And that you can separate that from my lifelong hero, Dylan. Don't tell me Dylan's getting old and he's getting less committed to his songs. He could be less committed to his songs in 7. You could see him and he couldn't care in any year.
Absolutely.
It's not Van Morrison syndrome, but something was going on there.
I don't know.
What am I saying?
Dylan played too, and he played piano for his set, and it was which made everything just even smaller and less connected to it to the big audience. But and then Willie Nelson closed the show, and he's like 93 or something, and
that's really true, right? Isn't he almost 90?
Yeah, and he's got maybe a 4-note range at this point, and it's still fun to watch him use those 4 notes to the best he can, and he played like a long ass set, and it was late into the night, and but it's interesting to see, like Paul McCartney is still trying to play the records, like when he plays his band, he's playing the records, and that's what, and you can start to see.
Was he at Farm Aid?
No, I'm just talking about 80-year-old rockers. And the way the different ways that they adjust to the limitations that age brings.
Okay, so tell me, how is Paul McCartney adjusting?
I'm just saying. I think he's not really. When I saw him on the SNL thing, it's like his voice. There was just notes he just can't hit anymore. But his whole live show is playing the records, and until very recently, he's still been able to hit all the notes and all the original keys. But
you should explain to the layperson what playing the records means. You assume everybody knows what you're.
Well, I think it's pretty apparent, but I just mean he's not. There's no interpretation involved about his songs. He and his band are trying to recreate the record for the audience. What they're playing sounds as close to the record as they can produce. Pretty much. Where Dylan is obviously the very opposite of that spectrum.
The very opposite, haphazardly.
You frequently can't identify the hit song he's playing because he's changed it so much. And then there's people like John Mellencamp play it, and he's just his voice has lost all his power, which is what happens when you smoke for 60 years, probably. But it's not like I'm going they should stop or any of that.
It's just an observation.
It's interesting to, and Paul Simon is another one who's now had to make all these adjustments because of his hearing, and he has to play very quietly with a speaker right next to his head, and but he makes musical adjustments for what he's got left.
I just think like this is the type of thing, like if you were my age and you would be thinking, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's trying to depress the very last. You're telling me about people my age. Well, they're older than me. They're really old. Fuck them. They're very, very old.
Yeah.
I was trying to be funny about that, but
no. I mean, I really do find it interesting because I mean, it's like I've said on stage. It's like this is the 39th anniversary of the first time I made a joke about the Stones being old on stage. But. So my obviously everyone's attitude changes as they get fucking older and go, oh shit, they're not so old. But, it's also just, in the 80s, it was unusual for rock bands to be in their 40s.
Yes, it was a whole...
It like totally was a different context for rock and roll because rock and roll had always been a youth movement thing. And then all these bands didn't quit, and so you had to adjust to what does that look like, and
right,
and there's so many brands of that, very few of those not supergroups, but giant groups continue to evolve artistically,
Well, yeah, it's got to be.
And that's why you look at Neil Young, where it's like, no, he has a fucking band that he plays with his band, and they write new shit.
And he can come out with an amazing album at any time.
Yeah, and he came out with a new song about fucking Trump, and it's just like it's a much more living thing with Neil Young than it is, say, with McCartney at this point.
Ben Lee came out with a very good song I want to recommend about it. It's very cathartic when people sing, especially someone like Ben Lee, who's like Australian. He's singing from the point of view of looking at America, and I can't explain things, but the point is poignant. Things like that. I'm not apologizing anymore for the loss of energy during a story or for the incoherence.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't care about that. It's not whether I'm coherent or incoherent. It's the degree.
Yeah.
So in other words, all I'm thinking about right now is, at one point, I think 8-9 years from now, I'm going to be 70. 10 years from now. No, I know it's coming up in a year from now.
Uh-huh.
And I have to adjust. And I have to adjust. But I don't, and I think, I hope that people aren't going to, it'll be like listening to Jim Rome. People want more of a current version of my comedy.
It's more like listening to Jim Neighbors, I think.
I hope that my fan base accepts me in my 70s. And I don't know if I should then start putting out country albums or then
it's time for your duets album at that point.
I don't know if I'm going to. Here's the thing. I don't see myself, you're never going to stop, Andy. 75, you're going to be doing the living room, the old man sitting in the living room series. Old comics sitting you see me my voice is, but that's the fear is my voice is going to get thin.
Yeah.
And then my voice I'll lose my voice. And then you know what's going to happen? Eventually I'm going to die. But the OCD part is thinking that your life is going to be a slow daily decline. That I'm happy now. When I turn 70, still happy. By 73, I'll be, I believe I can live, not forever, but I believe every day you live is a gift. Live every day as if it's your last. If you're not going to live today, how many more are there like that? If you're not going to be, now is, you don't want to get, this one's good. This is true. If you're not going to be.
My friend Sid Youngers used to have a joke, live every day like it's your last. Lie in a bed with a bunch of tubes in you. Something like that.
Thanks for putting that additional thought in my mind. Because I still feel, but I feel like that it's not Pollyannish for me to say that I want to greet death like I'm in a conga line. And I'm dancing and I accept whatever it is, the Lord, some kind of a. It could be a good fascism. It could be a good. It could be a. What's this? What do you mean? It's fascism, but it works because we all agree. It sounds very fishy. Sounds reminiscent.
This story is moving like a bunch of dead people in a conga line.
I thought you were using that, but I should have known that it's too early to hang up on.
This one's one of mine that Tommy and Gruber actually wrote this intro for.
This improvised
Separately
intro
from the song, but it kind of puts you in the mind of walking down a dusty Mexican street in Juarez or Oaxaca.
It could be in Oaxaca.
Or Oaxaca.
Tenochtitlan could be there.
And you walk into a cantina, open the double doors, look around at the tough room, peer up on stage and see a big fat sweaty Jewish guy. And he plays this song. All the problems that a single soul could possibly face, you think you've got them, you think you're sunk into the very lowest possible place, but you ain't hit bottom. You shouldn't wonder if it's ever gonna end. You fool yourself to set the things around the bend. You rack your brain for just one name you call a friend, but they're gone. Man, it gets dark before the dawn. Trail of people cringing at the mention of your name, but you're still not learning. Instead of answers, you've been looking for somebody to blame. Your bridges keep burning, your eyes are growing tired, you're staring at the phone. You contemplate the fate of ending up alone. Recall the times you picked up everything you own from the lawn. Man, it gets dark before the dawn. But history repeats, the sun will rise up in the east and spread its wretched light all over the place. The truth will be waiting, sitting there, babe, staring right into the face. Stare down. As a horrible pain. Now it's sticking. You made a choice to be the way you are now. Try it again. Just start digging. Learn the meaning of the word apologize. Get acquainted with the art of compromise. And I'll begin when you begin to realize you were wrong. Man, it gets dark before the dawn. Man, it gets dark before the dawn. Dark before the dawn. Thank you very much.
How you doing? How's it going?
It's going so well.
Well.
So well.
Wait a second. I haven't missed. Okay. I've gone off of the I'm not going to look at the news to look at the news.
Yeah.
Only on CNN because you know what? They're fair and balanced. No. So is there anything happened in the last half hour?
Not in the last half hour, except for I think Trump dropped a couple more threats on. There's going to be more.
So thank God. Well, I was about to just repeat one of my posts to you. Thank God they're finally getting Comey for handing the election to Trump in 2016. Finally. Get it? Get it? He really is a bad guy, but that's not what he should be going down for.
Yeah.
But
I wrote, I've never been so glad that James Comey is a grandstanding blowhard as right now.
That's right. It's his. I laugh a laugh of somebody who's been enduring this for going
But
into
it's true.
the.
I mean, just like Jimmy Kimmel, I think he's a good mark. You know, he's a good person who's going to stand.
Oh, because he
who's
can
going to have a
stand-
spine to this thing.
I think he is going to have a spine.
Yes.
And also, I don't think he's. Of course, there's no case here. Who
Right.
finally did they have to get a TV attorney to finally do it?
Well,
Like,
basically, I mean, he had to get one of his defense attorneys who was working in the White House, who has only done insurance law, to go be a federal prosecutor. It was really.
And here's the thing: I love the two. I enjoy. I mean, I keep saying stop saying you've never experienced this because you're experiencing it now. But I love the guy who goes, so what's happening with Comey? I don't know. You know, I have my people over there and I don't get involved. But I will tell you he's a bad person. He's a bad person. All I can see is like, I don't know. There's something going on in the last few days where it's the same thing. I just haven't been watching it.
It's hard to talk about with someone who's only a little tiny bit informed.
No, I'm informed. No, this is bullshit now. I'd watched Jimmy Kimmel. I've been watching the news and Jimmy Kimmel. No, I even watched MSLSD, as that guy, somebody Levin used to say, Mark Levin. No. But the point is that yes, I'm wrong. I am right to consider this a positive move, but then it's not positive.
What's a positive move? Why are you trying to hold the floor on this topic?
I'm not even high. God damn it. I
don't know what posture you're trying to achieve here.
I think
the semi-aware soapbox. I don't know what this.
I'll tell you what it is, Josh. Unbeknownst to you, I do a little side work as a life coach. So I've got to tell people, even if the government was at their door, I would tell them you can choose Viktor Frankl. He was able to forgive people in the concentration camp. That would be me. I have some life coach stuff.
You're more like a life vice principal.
Well, come on. Why can't you treat yourself as a guy who's out there devouring politics?
I am.
News.
I am.
Okay, so tell me what's going on.
Why should I fill you in?
Because I have my car was, my car got hit in a garage. It's being worked on, but I don't know. Do I need it today to leave or what's going on? You should give me a little heads up.
When's that car going to be done?
It seems like a dream that I've had before.
Yeah.
We can't. Yes, by tomorrow. We can't.
You're still waiting for the insurance supplemental thing?
No, they're waiting for something, and then look. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know what's going on, but no one seems to be happy except for the adjuster seems happy, but the guy.
Well, he's well adjusted.
You come up with that, and then you don't sign up for like a pun workshop.
I don't need a pun workshop.
Or you don't go to, or you don't sign up for celebrity.
I've got my 10,000 puns in.
Celebrity Sudoku. No, look. The positive thing I'm saying is like the delusion of the first term. He's actually doing things.
No, finish the car thing. Don't go back.
Wait, what was the car? Okay. So the car thing is that, first of all,
do you have a rental in the meantime? By the way, is their insurance paying for a rental? Okay.
Thank you. Yes, they are. Yes,
right.
Thank you very much. Hey, nothing but first class service over here. I got all the good stuff. But what happens is first of all, everything is computerized now. This place.
Is this? Is this a rant from 1979?
No, the place that I left it at has gold-plated doors and everything, and there's a computer, and you have water, and you have hot towels. So they keep saying So they send you, it sounds official. You get a text from them. Estimated complete date yesterday, Tuesday, Monday, estimated complete date. So at first you think everything's okay until the estimated complete date. Now it's the end of the week. Now we're going to go to the next week. And the thing about it is, you ever see that episode of Bob Newhart show where he tries to get tough with the guy, the auto mechanic? You know, I want that thing fixed, and the guy kind of gets like physical, like in his face.
Yeah.
You know, that's where I'm at. I would never be yelling at somebody. Where's the thing? But you know, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? This happens every single time. So, the worst that could happen is I'm going to get stuck with 5 or 6 days extra of the rental car. You know what I mean? This is where I think I'm very Buddhist.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go Buddhist, but but you got a couple of things going for you. Number one, you got the rental. Number two, you got nowhere to go. So
I got nowhere to go.
It doesn't really matter.
I'm driving a Mazda 3. Mazda, what's it called? M3?
I don't
What's
know.
it called?
I don't know.
You know what it's called.
I had a Mazda back in 1990.
Well, you know there were like a Mazda 3.
I had a Mazda 626 LX is what I had.
That sounds like a good car. Can I do just a small chunk of my bits from when I had my funny car bits? You know, I bought a Yugo, and let me tell you something. You go slow in these things.
Wow. I don't know. I don't even know how you got there.
Well, here's the actual truth. Before I was even a stand-up comic, where I started in 1984 in the comedy team of Andy and Bill, and then I departed on my own in the summer of '86. Even before that, I had a repertoire of material of anybody that age. I had yes, I have a Ford Country Squire wagon. Yes, it's in the shop, or whatever the thing was. Lots of humor on how horrible. One of my first jokes was I tried to fix my own car, so I got one of those any idiot can do this manual, even you, and self-deprecating right from the beginning, even you, Andy Kindler. So I get this book, and because this is after I have a whole bunch of material about how I spent hundreds of dollars and skinned my elbow trying to change my oil. So I get one of this book, and it says, step 1, locate the engine. Step 2, Step 1, open the hood. Step 2, locate the engine. Step 3, reseat the throttle 1/2 inch until it nestles into the bore. I still even now don't have that funny take. You know what I'm saying? I never came up with the funny language to convey what I was trying to say because there's too many car terms in that.
This is that and the third thing seemed all meta at the time, but it's literally I didn't write a third thing.
And so what do you call it's first thought theater, and then I'm going to take a nap because I'm self-medicating for ADHD by drinking 85 cups of coffee a day, and I'll take a nap and I'll get up and everything will be more coherent. Everything will be, I think I'll have a half-hour act by the time. This was made in 1987. Yeah, I got to get 30 minutes. I don't know. That just deteriorated. I was on a roll there for a second. You heard me. You heard me. I was conveying my life at that time.
Well, but considering the topic, petering out was on brand.
That's so true. So here's, I remember this. And all I see now in my head when I have nightmares at night is me telling you a story, any story.
Yeah.
See, the thing is, in the nightmare, you never know what it's going to be.
Right.
You never know what it's going to be, right? So in the nightmare, it could be, Josh, I just got hit by a car, and I'm lying by the side. See that? In the nightmare, there's nothing that can get you going.
Right.
So here's the story: is that when I first came out to L.A. and then I lived in the South Bay, and I used to go to this place called Joe's in Redondo Beach. Eat at Joe's, where the guy was a big John Wayne fan. So that's just the time period. It was kind of like it was 1979, and anyway, just very, very. But it was an East Coast style diner, and I just now remembered today how from that time period until I got Adderall, I self-medicated to try and I was self-medicating my ADHD. So I remember sitting at like Joe's, just all I did for years, top it off. Can you top it off? Not even do you want to start again? Mostly top it off. You know, and I remembered it was the best of times, but it was also, it seemed as bad, and that wasn't as bad as today, is the punchline.
That bottomless cup of coffee was a bottomless pit of despair.
That's exactly the type of thing I would write if I wrote Pulp. Is it Pulp Fiction or noir? I edged my late model sedan onto PCH Highway. That's Pacific Coast Highway, Jack. You know where I'm going, right?
Oh, yeah.
Jack?
Sure. You're a regular Dashiell Hammett.
I had a dog. His name was Dashiell Hammett. What? He was dachshund. I called him Dash. It's like, why do I think that noir is just talking fast or something, or you know, when I go into my noir thing, it's like, hey, it was a down home day with I say, get at it, beat it, sister. That's not it.
Your hard boiled is a little over easy.
I know what you're saying, and a lot of people have been writing to me. Why did you never do Sherman Oaks PI? That was your chance. That's my new thing now. Is that was my chance? Is the name of my something?
Yeah.
Blog.
I found another crossroad I misturned at.
Okay, but here's the thing I want you to do. I'm so mad at you, angry with you.
Wow.
Angry at you.
How did that happen?
Because why can't we have an intelligent one-way conversation about what's going on today? You know, what am I going to do? You're already on some kind of a thing. Your car is all juiced up. You've got, you know, what's going to happen? First of all, I liked the UN speech. Are you having a stroke?
Are you having
a
stroke?
Not yet.
Right.
I liked the UN speech.
Yeah.
All I know is I'm hearing construction. It's not construction. It's not let's get her done construction. It seems to be one guy toiling.
Yeah.
One guy toiling for 7 days. So one guy toiling maybe indefinitely.
Maybe.
And it's like,
maybe. It could be a Sisyphusian construction job.
Well, I'll tell you, I know there's planks involved. And I know that there's occasional, not yelling, but, you know, hey, Schwenky.
Ow, I hit my thumb.
I love the fact that two guys who dedicated their lives to avoiding any real work like that can just sit here, complain about doing a podcast, but just relish the idea that we're never going to be up on a roof. I mean, I'm not like, fuck those people, but I'm never going to be. I had my share of terrible jobs.
Yeah.
You know, but they never lasted. By 1987, I was already on my magical wonderland of professional stand-up comedy.
Uh-huh.
And by the late 80s, I was doing various cable shows. Do I have to say Comedy on the Road with John Biner to bring back memories for you?
Yeah, that's the only one you can bring back memories for me on.
Is that the one you did?
That's the only national I did. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know we talked about it, but now the show's been on for 11 or 12 years, our show. Tell me, who was your celebrity host?
John Biner.
Oh, well, you had a thing. I had Dave. We've talked about it. Dave Stewart. Was he a pitcher for the Oakland
A's? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know.
That was Evening at the Improv, I think.
No, this is, look, I may be a stupid man. I may be a man who has a bad memory. I may be unnaturally rageful.
Check.
But But it was Comedy on the Road with John Biner, and he wasn't even there.
Wow.
And it was Dave Stewart, and he was the host. And what is he going to do? I mean, I was happy to be there.
My recollection is that Dave Stewart had a weirdly high voice for his intimidating presence.
Isn't he the one who said they can't hold my jock strap or something like that? Am I remembering too much?
I don't remember.
He was a great pitcher.
He was
right?
a great pitcher, yeah.
Great pitcher.
Yeah.
And some people said something. Somebody goes, "They can't hold my jock strap." I don't know who the first athlete was who introduced, or maybe it was a celebrity who introduced, like on the reality shows, like that woman from New York says, "Get off my jock." The woman who's banned from the housewife shows, who Andy Cohen doesn't talk to anymore.
I'm really pleased I don't know who that is.
She has skinny. Come on. I can't believe I'm angry at myself for not remembering this when I should be angry at myself for not remembering anything important or interesting as I hide under the bed I'm reading my parallels between 1933 and today, Josh.
What did you let's start fresh with a new topic here.
Okay, I'm sorry. And also I apologize because I think that's the best thing to do with you at this point. Okay.
What did you think of Kimmel's return?
Great. Oh my God. First of all, I love Jimmy Kimmel. I know that's the thing. I guess we could talk about what I know about. I am just, you know what one of the problem is? I'm stunned by the pace of what's going on. Right?
Which is part of the design of the pace of what's going on as far as
yeah. So my mind goes blank, but of course I watched both nights. I thought he was great. I thought he was great when he came back and talked about the what his original have we talked since then about that?
No.
What his original intention was. The thing is this: he's just a good person. I mean, there really is no doubt that he's a good, thoughtful person. He's not a shock jock. You know, he's not. You know, he was in a group that was like that. He was in, the Man Show. He came from that background, but he himself, there's no thing that he's been gaining by doing really great material and just truthful things about how fucked up the Trump thing is.
Yeah,
it's not like he's getting to everyone's doing it and he's trying to top Fallon. It comes from his heart. It came from his heart when his child had problems. I just think he's a mensch. And I think he's. I don't watch any of these shows. And let me just tell you one thing. I have watched Colbert because I think I don't think. And I'm going to say this, please don't yell at me. I don't think he's funny.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's anything like his old character used to be. And he's in this kind of like the guy in the band loves him, the crowd loves him.
Yeah.
And I was actually listening to him on the headphones because I was not looking at him, but I was in another room on the headphones. It sounded just I couldn't even really make it out. It wasn't like anything I could connect to. The jokes were not great.
Right.
His comments were not great. But but I think maybe the fact that he says, he's comfortable, it's his crowd and all this kind of stuff. I'm in a new phase of my life, hopefully in the next 10 years, where I can put some of the judging to sleep. So that's not the most important thing. I do support what he's doing and I did enjoy watching him too.
Yeah.
But I just happen to know this. If I wanted to celebrate him for the next few months, I couldn't do it because it's nothing like the show I used to love when he was Colbert.
Right.
It's like maybe I've just seen too many talk shows or something, or
No, I think it's. I think his mission is much more applause based than laugh based.
Yes. And his wildness, he doesn't even do his exaggerated personality was hilarious when it was a character.
Yes.
But his slapstick or whatever he's doing now, but I sound like an old man complaining about
I think that he's become almost as doctrinaire a character on the left as his fake character on the right was in some ways,
Right. I would say even his point of view politically is kind of beside the point in a way because I want to celebrate that side to him. But he also has people like Jake Tapper on, and it's not like he's still doing a very middle of the road show, but I haven't watched enough to actually, now I have to withdraw from it because I've only watched a few episodes.
Yeah,
I haven't watched him in years.
I mean, I think his job is to do a basically middle of the road show. It's all of their jobs is to sort of do a basically middle of the road show.
Right. That's a separate comment about that, though.
Yeah.
But with Kimmel, I was never a huge. I always liked that Kimmel loved Letterman, and I liked where he came from. But it was always very hard to separate him from Corolla.
Yeah.
You know, so I just think he's doing a great job. The only thing I would say is that sometimes the actual sketches they do on the show are a little over the top, or a little. But who cares?
Although I've never seen De Niro commit to a bit like he did.
Oh, that was so great!
Like he did.
Oh no! I mean, the point is that Jimmy is very funny, so he's very funny in conversation with people. He has been so articulate through the whole thing. Yeah. Now, maybe
I was very impressed with the choice. Because it would have been super easy to come on and be bratty,
right,
or so irreverent about the thing to prove your bona fides as that,
right.
That I was particularly impressed with the fact that he talked the issue head on without being glib. In a very smart way, because knowing that whatever he said was going to be clipped and shown everywhere, now you have a platform to say an actual thing, as opposed to being a snarky child. I just thought it was I thought it was it was a good ad for adulthood in a lot of ways.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a good way to say it. He just and the thing about it was, I mean, I'm not the first person to say this, or maybe I just looked at an article, but now they've got themselves in a situation where they can't take him. I mean, they could take him off the air, but they really can't take him off the air. They can't take him off the air for anything.
Well,
that it never was legitimate to begin with.
The big risk is that his contract is up in May, I think. So.
Right, but even if they don't renew his contract, it's like. And I would be surprised because I have found ABC and I found Bob Iger to be a man who has battled. He's not a man who backs down who tacos every single time. It is kind of, it is sad when you have Michael Eisner scolding you.
Yeah.
Michael Eisner.
Yes.
He's the one who's like, you don't have enough. Yeah. Who called Jeffrey Goldstein, what is his name? In Geffen.
Katzenberg?
He called him a little, this is not me. I don't support these words. He called him, quote, a little midget, unquote.
Which is redundant, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you. As a little person myself, I would say, you know what? Once you, come up with less rage, more writing. But now he's the guy who's saying they don't have a spine. And of course, he's making a point that is true as well.
Yeah.
Is that they don't have a spine. And not only that, though, but the caving in to Trump. See, that's what I thought. Maybe this is what I meant by a positive move. This is a positive move. Them going after Kimmel and that becoming a very clear issue for the election if we're still around next year.
Right.
What do you here's the thing. I think that I guess there's no reason to talk about the future, but I feel positive. I don't feel as negative as I felt. I feel like at least when you can crystallize around something that we can all get behind, like if you're a good person, actual free speech.
Right.
And let me tell you something. I don't care how, enough with the Ben Shapiro or these guys. I don't care that those guys, because it came down to a law that could directly affect their livelihood.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they're worried about,
right.
Actual free speech.
Right. And, and I'm of the position, good.
You're right. I'm right. You're right. I'm not going to look a thing in the mouth and schmeckle it. I'm with you on it. Hey, I really feel like I started the show and, ball 1, strike 7, strike 9. But now I feel like because I really did feel when I started, oh my God, I don't know enough about what's going on. And then I remembered, no, I'm Johnny on the spot. I'm monitoring the talk shows. And I still reluctantly, when Susan says, let's just put on I've always enjoyed Seth, but I haven't been watching him this week. So it's a thing I don't regularly watch those talk shows like I did when Letterman was on. I mean, that's obvious.
Right. Nor do I, because I'm pretty much done with my daily news roundup by that time of day.
Yeah.
You know, it's that's when I pretty much watch a movie before I go to bed or something. You know what I watched last night? I watched for the first time the Parallax View. I had never seen.
I've never seen that. I know the name of it.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's like sort of peak 70s conspiracy thriller. You know, that early 70s conspiracy, 3 Days of the Condor, Parallax View.
Soylent Green
to a certain extent, the sort of invisible corporate slash government slash, you know. It's good.
The Star Chamber.
It's not a great movie. It's Warren Beatty as a sort of renegade reporter, which was not a well-developed identity for him. But it was just a way to sort of put him on the right side of things, you know. But it's shot very cool, and it's Alan Pakula, and it's I don't know, it's Warren Beatty doesn't hold up like a lot of the movie stars of his era, really. Just because I think it's just because you know what a fucking goof he is.
Yeah.
That it doesn't. It's hard to erase the Warren Beatty-ness of Warren Beatty the way some of his contemporaries could do.
Well, I remember loving Warren Beatty because I loved the movies that he was in. He was in some classic movies with Bonnie and the Clyde and all of that. And I even remember sitting through Reds.
Yeah.
And I say sitting through Reds like I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but I found it very confusing.
Yeah, I think it might just be that he's not that great an actor, is what it might be.
That could be true. And except Heaven Can Wait, he was great in, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's bad.
Oh, he was great in Shampoo. Was he the shampoo guy?
He was. Oh, jeez.
I'll hold. Oh wait, we're not going to I'll hold yet because it might pass. How are you feeling today? I should have asked you if I was a friend. You weren't feeling that good, and I shouldn't have asked. I should have launched in with that. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay now. I had a couple of sort of flu-ish days this week.
Is it like tiny COVID or COVID at home?
It was more like no. It was more just an overall oogie.
Yeah.
Kind of nausea, but not serious. You know, just an overall.
Were you able to sleep it off?
It might have been. No, I never can sleep anything off.
That's right. You keep forgetting. No matter what, you're not taking a nap.
No.
It makes me sad sometimes.
Makes me sad.
I'd like to cuddle with you in an afternoon nap.
I know.
No one buys when we do our stuff based on our mutual attraction.
Our old after spoon.
I think of our show as intimate, though, in terms of our topics.
I know that's what you think intimacy is like.
It's time for questions. What do you want to know? We love your questions so much. It's half our show. Half our show.
Wampus Reynolds says, my elderly mother bought knockoff cottony candy grapes at the store called, quote, carnival grapes. Not since the fake Beatles bands in 1964 has there been such a devious cash-in to a craze.
Well, I've seen it. They're all over.
I actually had a pinball machine that was Williams Beat Time, and it was supposed to be a Beatles thing,
right.
But it was all Beatles knockoffs, and it was the Boodles.
Oh, that was good. But, you know, when you go to the supermarket now, there's all kinds of, because I think it was Dan Marsh who pointed out why there are these new varietals, and I can't remember how they come up with them, but there's a lot of wonderful ones that, like, if it says candy hearts, that's an actual, then there's people coming along doing versions of that.
Right.
Gumdrops.
Exactly.
Stuff like that.
Right.
But in general,
that's what Wampus is saying, is that it's the Wild West of grapes right now.
But they are generally very good, the grapes. Who cares? What am I, Elmer Dills? Who's that, Andy?
I don't know. If old Jews can't talk about fruit, then what is worth living?
That used to be one of my favorite bits on SCTV was used fruit. Okay, stop being a Jew from Long Island who's talking about how, you know what was a great show, SCTV. Just get a personality that's more in line with 2025.
Yeah. You know, it's only 50 years ago.
Huh? You don't remember 50 years ago when I used to go to Joe's in Redondo Beach? I'm like Gilbert Gottfried. He was a John Wayne fan.
Greg Kelly, if the Mets make the postseason, they'll play next week at Dodger Stadium. I assume Rich Brotherton would pony up for the Ducats.
Believe me, thank you very much for your interest in my relationship with Rich Brotherton. These things have all been talked about. These have been, but the first thing is, like, I don't want to jinx anything. These have been the worst of times. These have been the best. They have had two of the greatest wins in the last week, and then they can all of a sudden fall down on the fundamentals, which you always told me was the most important thing. But it's very exciting. 3 more games to go, and we control our own destiny.
Very exciting.
Thank you.
Mr. Bundren says, how's about you and Andy riff something?
That's all we do, baby.
No, he means a formal Mystery Science
Mr.
Theater
Weinstein?
riff.
Okay, I'll be the guy. You'll be the lady at the supermarket, and I'll be a clerk when you're coming in to ask about.
That's not what we're talking
Okay,
about.
you're James Mason, and you're in a fish out of water.
He's talking about riffing a movie.
Is that like riff tracks?
Yeah.
Is it a riff tracks thing?
Thank you for choosing the one that I'm not involved with. Thank you. Thank you for picking the one way you could describe it that excludes me. I appreciate that.
Well, there all seem to be ways to run away from the 60s group of Joel Hodgson. You know, at some point, look, Joel, we love you. You let go of you don't own he's not claiming he owns the form anyway. So.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, yeah. Don't Beth Lapidus this.
Dan Wade says, and it appears to be in verse of some kind, or a song. I have type 2 diabetes, but I manage it poorly. Wheel of Fortune was better when they had Chuck Woolery.
I think that goes from it gets Dada. It gets a little Dadaist. Yeah.
John Dunbar says on one of Michael DeBar's social media platforms, there was talk about the greatness of Who Do You Want Me to Be? Somebody said they loved it so much they bought the Blu-ray. I was unaware of the physical release. Any Josh commentary on there or extra scenes? Here's their proof, and there's a picture of the Michael DeBar Who Do You Want Me to Be DVD. I think we did Michael and I, this was during COVID, so I think Michael and I did like a Zoom interview, the two of us with someone else. It was 5 years ago, so I don't really remember, but I know that there's like that on there, and there might be like the music video on there that I shot.
But not a whole array of blue.
There's not a whole. I didn't do like a director's commentary track or anything like that.
So you did. What did they say? You did it on Blue Sky? That's my Blu-ray joke.
That was good.
Thanks.
It's nice to hear that people are happy and talking about the movie, though. I have learned that people don't actually don't compliment the director of a documentary; they compliment the subject of it generally.
Right.
I was talking to Pete Lee and Chad Daniels in Minneapolis about I Need You to Kill, and they get comments about it all the time.
Right, but no one stops you in a restaurant in Minneapolis and goes, Did you not do the? Yeah, but here's the thing: that those documentaries are going to last. They're going to last. I'm not saying like a legacy. You're dying,
Right.
but they're going to be around for a while, and that's the great thing.
I hope so.
it.
No,
That's
it's
the great
not.
thing.
It's not a regret, really, that people don't.
Oh no, I didn't think you were sounding regretful.
It's just
at all.
It's an observation, and that unless you're like Michael Moore or Morgan Spurlock, where you make make yourself a character in the documentary,
Yes,
people are not paying attention, and that's like I said, it's fine because the whole point is to showcase the people in it.
right. There's a continuum and a pendulum, and there's a way that you can either be over involved, or you can be like that guy who's pretty good, who did the thing about Thin Blue Line. That guy, he can say, "Is he too much involved?" Maybe in this one, but I enjoyed him with this.
Yeah, Errol Morris is kind of like right on the border.
Yeah.
Like he's done both.
Ken Burns blows them all out of the fucking water, as far as I'm concerned.
There you go.
Wait, did you say Babe Ruth? Yes, I knew Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth?
That's your Ken Burns
Yes.
impression?
World War II? Yes, I remember. Yes. Oh, are you asking me about? Oh, all right. What is stopping?
Here's my Ken Burns impression. Yeah, I was slowly pushing
did a
in.
Great
I was
job
slowly
with
pushing
that.
in.
The idea that I am Ken Burns, I am a genius. I have discovered that a still photo, why does it have to be still? What are you saying, Ken? That it's moving when you go in on it? Yes. Well, not even. I'm highlighting. I'm focusing in like Hitchcock. I am so wry and on a certain level, really incisive. What is it? Material. Thank you.
Good English work.
You're not so great yourself.
England Topiary says, if your podcast was turned into a Netflix show, who would play you two? I would think us two would play us two as our podcast.
I think we would play, and I thought of a comedy team that we should do in a hilarious road movie, like that we're a comedy duo. The comedy team of Wax and Wayne.
Ah.
And I think it's funny for 1 second. Hey, what's up, Wax? What do you know? Why do you think they call you Wayne?
If it was Michael Florwax and Jeff Wayne, it would work.
That's true. It's unbelievable that neither one of us can ever get like a pretentious Hollywoody view of ourselves when we've all been in almost kill you situations where you're driving Jeff Wayne somewhere, you could get shot. And I've had similar experiences, just not as fun, actually, as a Jeff Wayne. Yeah. I got hit in the head. I mean, it's one of my bits I did. I hit in the head outside of a bar, comedy club. And I used to, I forget the joke. The joke was so great. But I was standing outside, and this guy comes up, and he hits me in the ear. And then he gets back in, and it turns out that they must have been daring each other. Hey, you go out there and hit him in the head. Right? The guy hit me in the head. He was not excited about hitting me in the head. Nevertheless, I still found it frightening.
Yeah.
I was very frightened as someone, and then they got arrested 15 minutes later somewhere else with their crazy pranks. They go, hey man, we're like the Impractical Jokers, something like that. But that's
with
the
punching in the head.
With the punching in the head, yeah. So you had more, but we've all had that. The Jeff Wayne thing. Anybody who's been on the road has had some version of. I flew up to Canada to do one-nighters, and all of a sudden there's all these flies. There's a lot of dicey things. Not dicey like I went to war,
right? But
hilarious and
comically unglamorous.
That's exactly right. comically unglamorous, but not comically enough, folks. little bit too inside baseball. You know, I was watching that show you said to watch, which was called "Looking at Baseball," from being in baseball, and I thought too inside baseball.
I sent Andy a YouTube video of how to identify pitches.
I've started to watch it. I stopped watching it because it's not. I always go, honey, I'll watch this, and I don't know about whys, and so I will get it though. This guy, he knows because he was a major league pitcher for 16 years.
Right. Well, he's actually a hitter, I think, but no.
Oh, I thought he said he did pitch. Okay, don't embarrass me, Jesus Christ. Yeah, but it's very interesting. I'm sorry for
Let's just say embarrassing you, not a heavy lift. Bob Reich or Rich or Reich.
It's not respectful.
I was just trying to cover all my bases.
Okay.
With a government shutdown pending, I have to ask if you guys offered the voice of Droopy to the DNC to help them negotiate. It might work.
How about you bring back some of that Medicaid? People are dying.
All I know is if we could go back in time.
If we could go back in time.
I would have had Chuck Schumer not fuck it up back then. But now the government is going to be closed, like Josh. And that has to happen. We cannot, if a bully comes and asks you for a piece of this, and you say, here's your this, they come back and they say, I want twice as much. It is time to stop the bully, unless it affects my Social Security checks.
All right.
Or my public parks. Will I be able to visit my public parks?
You will, but you'll have to be the ranger.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, boo-boo.
Gosh, Yogi.
Will you stop going back to my penis? And I mean that literally. I found you. I wake up in the middle of the night. You're on my penis.
Ugh.
Ugh.
Why? Why say that?
Why? You know why these aren't disgusting? Because I'm no longer able to get hard. What is it?
And we've come full circle.
His penis doesn't work.
Yeah, that's right. It's disgusting. I thought if people thought of me as not being able to get aroused, that would make them feel more comfortable.
Tweet Bahara. A happy Rosh Hashanah to you both. Happy atoning. No, the atoning comes at the end of this 10-day cycle on Yom Kippur.
Yeah,
but I should say, in the spirit of Judaism, I apologize for any wrongings of you I've done this year.
Oh, well, I thank you for that. It's hard for me to take this seriously because all I think about is Israel. Israel should be atoning, and I've always felt two ways about being Jewish. I never enjoyed the propaganda I got at Temple or later on the myths and the we're the good people, and then we said we're going to live in the desert, and they said please right this way, please. But wow, even more now,
that's like really undermining our whole thing right there.
But even more now, it's hard for me. And I know I separated from the religion, but I know so little about the actual religion. And I've been to Hebrew school and I was bar mitzvahed. So
sort of.
So double bar mitzvah. And so now
no singing.
It just doesn't bring me joy. And I'm not trying to add to anti-Semitism. You assholes.
You just put the fucking cherry on top of anti-Semitism.
Oh, that sounds like either something that is wrong or something I should look into. That's it. I'm not
you
going.
Have two feelings of being Jewish: scorn and fear.
No, that's not. The thing that's sad is I used to rely on it like a comedic crutch. I overused it, but I used to get cachet. People thought of Jews back when I was doing it as an oppressed people. Where they don't think of Jews that way because we have an ethno-state that is exactly the opposite of that feeds into...
Wow! Tweepahara also wants to know, either of you guys ever meet Schleppy Silverman, Sarah and Laura's father?
No, I never did. I've heard of him through Sarah's stories, but I have not. And I know he died. He passed away, and I know that she's had a lot of tragedy, and there was a lot of stuff that she told a lot of stories about it. So I think I've heard them, but
well, she has
her
new special.
Trial?
Her new special is all about the death of Schleppy and her stepmother, I believe.
Oh, and I guess I've read about it in the newspapers where she talks about one of her younger sister dying or younger brother dying.
I don't know.
Her younger brother died while she was a young baby overseas with, and then, but she had never found out about that or something like, because she was like a little baby when it happened. Look, I can't be making, it's usually when someone intros a thing, they know what they're talking about.
Right.
I apologize to both you and Tweetbahara and also to Perush.
I never met Schleppy either. In fact, I've only met Sarah Silverman herself maybe 3 times over 30 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. Did you ever you did go to Shandling's to play basketball a couple of times, right?
I did not. I did go to Shandling's a couple of times, but it was terrific.
Oh, okay, right. I'm so glad I never tried to go play with Sandler or anybody. How could that have been any more fun than He had to be Adam's sidekick on the basketball court. Nice shot, Adam.
Yeah, I think it definitely worked out that you weren't accepted in that group.
Also, I wasn't a very good player. Did you ever think of that?
I did, immediately.
Actually, I was an okay basketball player.
I never was.
But I'm lying not anybody could crush me who was like tall or had athletic ability, but I liked dribbling around.
Yeah.
I like 2-on-2.
I never, the times I played basketball, it was before I was an actual basketball fan, so I didn't really understand the game when I was playing it. I could probably be a more effective body on the court now, just knowing that, like, there's picks and things you could set. But yes. I don't see that coming up.
But you could be on one of those ESPN sets right now where, like, like Bradshaw or these people, they have the guys holding the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you're no longer active, but you know how to... come over here and you guard me. Okay. Why don't you just sit? When that's dying, just go on.
Zeke Fossey says, so what is your favorite Robert Redford film? I'm always struck that the movie he directed, I think he meant movies, he directed like Ordinary People and River Runs Through It, are a lot quieter in tone than the movies he acted in, like The Stand, etc.
I think he's one of these people who is from that time period. I'm not saying this is not a time period now, but that time period where when you thought of Robert Redford, you thought of his movies, you thought about him as a personality and as a director. You know what I mean? Like Ordinary People was one of my favorite movies, but also he just was in the consciousness, like probably be harder to beat today in a way. But I want to compare it to today. But so I loved, every movie I've seen him in. I thought he was great in. But it's almost like talking about an older time period now because it's been a while.
Oh, come on. Just pick a fucking Robert Redford movie you like.
I love Butch Cassidy, but it all sounds like, yes, I like The Sting too, but I don't think, was he in The Sting?
Yes, those are both very good movies that are legit favorite Robert Redford movies. But you say it in such a put upon way.
I know it's hard to know what's bothering me. I liked him in The Natural, but that's not one of the things. I also liked him in with what's her name, Barbra Streisand. That was good. The Way We Were.
Yeah, I didn't like.
Look,
that. I didn't like that so much, but
I liked everything that was.
I would say
syrupy.
Probably All the President's Men or The Natural are probably my favorite Redford films.
What a great tribute you had there, Josh, to great Robert Redford. Unbelievable. It's only me. It's only me who recognizes old Hollywood, who celebrates old...
It's like it's another time I'm talking about. I don't know what to do. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so pressed.
Why do you do the cross eyes thing? Does make me laugh.
Good. That's all I'm going. That's all I really want to get out of it. Handsome Greg Kelly says, my wife was watching an old episode of Family Feud and Richard Dawson started the show with a joke. I'm wondering if you can guess the punchline. I was close. Ted Kennedy, Jimmy Carter, and Jerry Brown have agreed to have a debate during the 1980 Democratic primary. They can't agree on where to have it. Carter wants it in Washington, Kennedy wants it in Massachusetts, and Brown wants it
at a spa, Esalen. At
a spa is your answer?
Yeah.
Wants it blank.
I know, but what is the fill-in?
And I would have probably gone the moon or Mars or something like that for a 1980 joke about. His guess was Handsome Greg Kelly's guess was on the moon, which is similar to mine. The punchline was in a hot tub, which is closer to yours.
Wow.
Bryce Colton wants to know, Andy, are you still walking 5 miles a day?
No, I can't walk at all. I can't walk. This is very, I don't want to come off like a victim. I'm doing great, but I don't do that kind of walking anymore because that walking is inherently going to make me fall unless I'm on a flat thing. But I do walk on flat surfaces. So I do at least 10,000 steps a day and, I do the stationary bike, but no longer. And I'm glad for the years I had it. But it's really
how do you get in 10,000 steps a day?
I do like walking. I walk around the neighborhood. I walk around a flat area around this neighborhood that I know is like flat, even up this way, flat, even up that way. I only do those kind of walks.
Gotcha.
Right. Yeah. I can't. My actual balance is better than it used to be because I'm aware of what I'm doing. I'm aware of what the thing is, and it's if my knee like starts to bend, if it bends too much, it just goes, and it's like a lever almost. It just like goes, whoop, and there's nothing I can do. But around the house, it's not going to kill me, and I haven't fallen. I fell once. I fell last night actually.
Did you?
But it was a rug.
You all right?
I'm totally fine.
Good. Daisy Petunia says, I like that song, I Fooled Around and Fell in Love. Andy, can you favor us with a song?
Yes. I can you get the rights to this? I love you.
No.
Just as much.
Specific song that I gave you.
What was the song?
I Fooled Around and Fell in Love.
I fooled around and fell in love. Yes, I fooled around and fell in love. Obviously, I don't remember the song that way. And I know there's another.
Actually, that's actually the whole chorus. I'm pretty sure it just does it 4
I fooled
times.
around it. Yeah. Hey, I also did a song in the 90s, Fuck Around and Find Out. Remember that one? Josh, take it away. Sorry. Do you like me more energized or more confused?
I like the combo.
Okay.
I like
Thank you.
Panicky confusion is my favorite thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I went through my whole life and never went to a Subway sandwich shop, and that would be a lie.
Yeah.
But I still regret most of the trips.
I liked it at the very early days. My friend's mom opened a Subway when I was a teenager.
Oh, and so that time period, it was fun?
It was good.
I like Mendocino Farms.
But I've always taken issue with that, the weird bread cut they did at Subway to begin with.
Oh, I don't like it.
But it's just bad. I haven't had a Subway sandwich in certainly double-digit years at this point.
Well, I went through a 3-month Quiznos frenzy.
Yeah.
I remember I told you this. I would go in there and go, I like it. It's better the way you do the eating thing. Yeah, thank you, sir.
Quiznos had some secret diarrhea trigger for me.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't want to get in that area.
No, that's
certainly not comedically.
No, I could make it work. If you'd like to support all kinds of humor, diarrhea and otherwise, go to Buy Me a Coffee.
No. I say no. We're not like the Housewives or one of these shows that resorts to this kind of low-level comedy.
Go to buymeanimodium.com.
And also, if you like just giving us money, just go to buy me some joke. Buy me some
For
joke.
that, buymeacoffee.com/thought
Yeah.
spiral will fit your bill.
Why am I not comfortable? You know what I'm glad that we don't do? That we don't have to do commercials, which nobody would ask us to do anyway.
That's true.
And nor do we pitch out to like 3 minutes of unrelated commercials.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's what's good about us. On the other
Right.
side of the ledger, whew,
Live every day as if it's your last.